So for the second example here, again, basically the same process. I highly recommend you writing this down on your own. You can write it down on your iPad, piece of paper, pencil, whatever. But write it down so you can work it out. Again, ignore that there's a decimal even there and just do the multiplication. 2 times 4 is 8. Okay, so we're doing the 4s, and then the next would be 4 times 0, which is just 0. So we're actually done with the 4. Okay, and we need to include a 0 here. Now we're doing 6 times 2, which is 12. Okay, and that would get us to the end, because 6 times 0 is just 0. I don't need to write a 0 out there. So now I got to add this up, and I have 128. And then I look at my original problem. I have one digit to the right of the decimal, another digit to the right of the decimal. So that would be 2 digits total. So I'm going to put my decimal right here, 2 digits. So 1.28 or 1 2800ths would be my final answer. Now something I want to point out here, what if I had a 0 right here? Does that really change my problem? Before I was multiplying 2 tenths, now I'm doing 20 hundredths. What you need to understand, if there's ever a 0 at the end of a number, you can kind of ignore that one, okay? We're not going to count that, so we're not going to say, oh, there's 2 digits to the right of the decimal, and there's 1 there, so there's 3 digits, so I'd move it all the way to 0.128. I'm not going to count a 0 at the end of my number. Only if this is a non-zero digit, so 1 through 9. Just like here, if I had 0.30 times 6.20, okay, it looks like you could say, hey, there's 4 digits to the right of the decimal, but I'm only going to look at these 2. So there's only 2 digits to the right of the decimal. I'm not going to count the zeros at the end, okay? So that might show up in the mastery practice, just so you're aware of that. So this answer, though, is 1 2800ths.